This is the tragic story of Brett Mann, a young adventurer who adores the great outdoors. Brett's day was meant to be filled with excitement and solidarity as he and his friends went riding quad bikes near Litchfield National Park. But what began as a fun outing turned terrifying when Brett came across one of the park's most dangerous inhabitants, a massive saltwater crocodile. How did Brett's thrilling adventure turn into a devastating ordeal that ended his life unnaturally? Today, we delve into Brett Mann's final moments and the shocking events that occurred. Brett Mann was a 22-year-old from Darwin, Northern Territory. He loved the outdoors and was always ready for an adventure. Darwin, his hometown, was a beautiful place with incredible landscapes. It had wide open spaces, rivers, and parks. People came from all over to see its wildlife and natural beauty. For Brett, this was home, and he knew it well. Brett was the kind of person who brought fun wherever he went. He had a big smile and always encouraged his friends to enjoy life to the fullest. His friends trusted him as they shared many happy memories together in nature. Brett was close to his friends and family, often described as someone who had a big heart and was always up for a fun time. He often spent his weekends exploring with his best friends, Sean Blowers and Ashley McLeod. They would ride their quad bikes, go hiking, or swim in the rivers. Litchfield National Park was one of their favorite spots. It is one of the most stunning places in the Northern Territory. It's known for its natural beauty, filled with tall eucalyptus trees, pandanus palms, and unique termite mounds that tower above the ground. The park also has incredible waterfalls like Florence and Wangee Falls, where people love to swim and cool off on hot days. The park is a haven for adventurers. There are hiking trails, camping spots, and places perfect for quad biking, just like the area Brett and his friends enjoyed. The wildlife there is also impressive. Kangaroos, wallabies, and many types of birds make it their home. That's why on that fateful day in December 2003, they had no idea their adventure would turn into something tragic. Brett's love for his home and his adventurous spirit would sadly lead him into danger. On the morning of December 21st, 2003, Brett Mann, along with his two friends, set off for what they thought would be another exciting day. They left their homes around 11:40 a.m., full of energy and excitement. The plan was to spend the day quad biking in one of their favorite spots near Litchfield National Park. This area was perfect for adventure, with wide open salt plains and muddy tracks. After about an hour of driving, they reached Kangaroo Flats, just on the border of the park. The place was familiar to them. They had been there many times, racing their quads and enjoying the outdoors. The landscape was as beautiful as ever, with tall trees, palm groves, and the occasional termite mound towering in the distance. For Brett and his friends, this was the perfect way to spend a day. They geared up and hit the tracks, spraying mud as they raced each other. Laughter filled the air as they zigzagged through the terrain. The day was going perfectly. By all accounts, they were having one of the best times they'd ever had together. As the afternoon wore on, they were covered in mud but happy, enjoying every moment. Around 4:30 p.m., the trio decided to head to a nearby river, the Finnis River, to clean off. The water was unusually high due to recent floods, but they didn't think much of it. They parked their bikes close to the riverbank and waded into the water, unaware of the strong tide and rapidly rising water levels. The Finnis River is a significant waterway near Litchfield National Park. It winds through the lush landscape, bordered by dense vegetation and occasional sandy banks. The river is known for its seasonal changes, which can drastically affect its flow and depth. During the rainy season, the water levels rise significantly, making the river swift and powerful. On that fateful day, as Brett and his friends waded into the river, they were unaware of the danger lurking beneath the surface. The rising water and strong currents had already made the situation perilous, but the presence of a crocodile made it even more deadly. The crocodile, drawn by the movement in the water, saw an opportunity. Its powerful muscles and stealthy approach made it nearly impossible for Brett and his friends to notice until it was too late. Saltwater crocodiles, or salties, are known to inhabit this region. They are among the most dangerous predators found in Australian waters. These crocodiles can be found in various bodies of water, including rivers, estuaries, and even coastal areas. The Finnis River, with its rich ecosystem and secluded spots, provides an ideal environment for these formidable reptiles. Saltwater crocodiles are notorious for their stealth and power. They can grow up to 23 feet long and weigh over 2,200 pounds. Their jaws are incredibly strong, capable of exerting a bite force of over 3,700 pounds per square inch, one of the strongest in the animal kingdom. This immense strength allows them to crush bones and snap large prey with ease. As Brett was bathing in that river, he suddenly lost his footing. The powerful current swept him away before his friends could react. Shocked, Sean and Ashley immediately tried to swim after him, but they too were caught in the current. Brett disappeared from their sight as the river pulled him farther away. Suddenly, Ashley spotted something horrifying: a large saltwater crocodile's head emerging from the water, just a few meters away. He shouted, "Croc, croc! I'm not joking, there's a big croc! Head for a tree! Get out of the water!" His urgent warning was clear and panicked. Sean, who was only a few meters away, immediately started swimming towards a nearby tree. The two friends managed to climb up the tree, desperately trying to escape the danger. They perched themselves high up, frantically calling out for Brett, who was nowhere to be seen. The silence around them was deafening, amplifying their fear. As they sat in the tree, trying to make sense of the situation, a horrifying scene unfolded. A massive saltwater crocodile, more than 3 meters long, surged from the murky depths of the river. Its powerful jaws were clamped tightly around Brett's lifeless body. The sight was something out of a nightmare. Frozen with terror, Sean and Ashley could only watch as the enormous crocodile retreated into the river with Brett. The creature disappeared beneath the water, taking Brett's body with it. The two friends, still clinging to the tree, were left in a state of shock and horror. Sean and Ashley were eventually rescued the next morning after a terrifying night spent clinging to the tree. The friends' desperate cries alerted search parties, who arrived on the scene. The two friends were severely dehydrated, traumatized and shaking from the cold and fear. Sean and Ashley were still deeply shaken by what they had witnessed, as rescuers assisted them in descending from the tree. The search for Brett's body continued with intense efforts. Despite the dangers and challenges posed by the rising water levels and debris in the river, the authorities were determined to find both the crocodile and Brett. The area was thoroughly combed by search teams, which included local wildlife experts, police, and volunteers. During this period, the community of Darwin was deeply affected. The tragic event quickly became the topic of widespread concern. Brett's family and friends were devastated, struggling to come to terms with the loss and the horrifying circumstances surrounding it. A week after the attack, a significant development occurred. A Parks and Wildlife ranger located a 3.8-meter crocodile in the river, not far from the site of the incident. The ranger, following standard procedure, shot the crocodile to ensure it no longer posed a threat. The crocodile's body was seen sinking to the bottom of the river. However, despite the efforts to recover it, the body never resurfaced. This left many questions unanswered and made it difficult to determine if this crocodile was indeed the one responsible for Brett's death. As days went by, the search parties eventually had to conclude that they could not find Brett's body. The rising floodwaters had made it nearly impossible to continue the search effectively. The authorities in the community were left with the grim reality that Brett was likely entirely consumed by the crocodile, adding to the tragedy of the situation. Brett's family, Sean and Ashley, were left to deal with the trauma and sadness of what had occurred. They would remember Brett not only for his adventurous spirit, but also for the horrifying manner in which he was tragically killed. The incident served as a stark reminder of the dangers that exist in the wilderness, even in places as familiar and beloved as Litchfield National Park. Crocodile attacks are unfortunately common in the Northern Territory, where the crocodile population is high. This region attracts tourists from all over the world who come to see these powerful predators in their natural habitat. One of the most popular attractions is the Jumping Crocodile Cruise. During these tours, pieces of meat are dangled off the boats to lure crocodiles into leaping out of the water. Despite the risk associated with these activities, risk that can cause crocodiles to associate food with humans, tourists continue to participate. These thrilling encounters with crocodiles, though dangerous, remain a popular draw for visitors seeking an adrenaline rush and close-up view of these ancient creatures. Thank you for watching. If you want to know more shocking animal attacks, simply click on the next video. Don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button for more terrifying stories. Until next time, stay safe.